Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Rolls, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 249?
Mm-mm.
8?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing good there for a few episodes, though.
It was last week. Last week we fucked up the whole,
Yeah.
my whole internet thing, and it threw me off entirely. No idea.
You got it right last week.
I mean, especially this week. No one knows what week it is anymore. No one knows what's going on.
No one knows what's happening.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Anything interesting this week?
Me
neither. Let's talk about video games.
Yeah, no. Actually, I had like this it's not like that interesting. I had like a $50 charge on my card that like was for like the bar that I like to go to. And it's like I wasn't even there that day, so I had to like talk to the manager and like, what's up with this? And like,
Do you have your card on you?
Yeah, and they don't
okay.
keep your card.
Like someone stole it or something.
No, it's probably like a mistake or something, or I'm not sure. I don't think it was like a pending charge or anything.
You left it at the bar. Drinks on you.
No, they do is they'll swipe it and then like give it right back to you.
Sure.
They don't ever like keep. Some places will. Like we have a place called the Retro Arcade, which I might have talked to you about before. It's like a barcade kind of thing. They keep your card until you leave.
Yeah.
So like there's a few places that do still keep your card, but a lot of more places are just swiping and giving it back so they don't lose it or anything.
I'll never forget when I was like 14, my friend's aunt or some shit got us a hookup for a job at this like Italian festival. And we were just like working as cashiers. There's like this place downtown that like does all these different types of festivals. And
that sounds fun.
Yeah, her like cousin or some shit owns a restaurant, and they were opening a pop-up shop or whatever during the Italian fest. Anyways, so we were doing cashier shit, and I mixed up 2 credit cards on accident. Uh-oh. Yeah, because like I don't know why I had multiple at the same time. I think one guy was like waiting for his food, and I had his other one, and I mixed them up, and the dude got so pissed because I gave his card to someone else. And it was it was like you know,
kid.
Yeah, and it's like my first job experience and all that. And I'm just like, fuck.
Not a good experience.
No, horrible. Never worked a cashier again.
Yeah, that must be rough, especially like that's a different type of cashier than like a grocery store where it's just massive volume of people all the time.
Yeah, that was just like a constant line all day.
Yeah,
like it would not stop. You know, like it was just an 8-hour shift of a line all day. Yeah.
That's like a festival. There are just always people there. At least with grocery stores, it's probably like a flux, depending on how busy your.
I've never had a grocery store cashier job.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do that.
Yeah,
maybe like a stock boy or something, but I wouldn't want to like.
I did do stocking once for like very short time, but it was like third shift, anyways.
Oh, it's night. You really like that night shift?
No, I don't. I don't know why I work it. Now it's better because I do second shift and I get off at like midnight. But yeah, that's way better. I have had a shift where it was midnight to 8 a.m. That was horrible. That's
brutal.
Yeah, shout out to people that do that because that shit is brutal, man.
Your schedule's like completely flipped.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, try to sleep when the sun's up too all the time. It's fucking horrible, man.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Yeah. Anyways, nothing else interesting this
week. Not for me.
No interesting news in video games either. So,
yeah, I think people still just playing their games. Just a lot of games to catch up on. So,
there are a lot of games. I don't know what. I guess I was going to talk about it at the end. I don't know what to move on to next. I'm between Dragon Age and Metaphor.
Yeah, and I mean I don't think Metaphor is like that much longer than Dragon Age. Like they're both pretty long.
Like another 30-ish hours.
Yeah, I think it's like 80, 70 to 80.
Yeah, I guess the length isn't really. I mean, the length is worrisome with both of them, so I'm not really like too worried about that. But
it's like what style of game?
I don't know. Yeah,
turn-based, just more actiony.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Every time I see the Dragon Age combat, I'm just still very much like that combat does not look great to me, and
it looks very flashy and just kind of
I just don't know. Does it look fun? Like I don't know. Will that keep me compelled for 50 hours or whatever, however long it takes to beat that. I don't know. I wish Dragon Age had the demo, because Metaphor's got a demo, but it's like
Oh,
I don't
right.
need a demo for Metaphor. I know I'll like Metaphor. The problem I have with Metaphor is, do I get burned out like I do with the Persona games? Do I get burned out halfway through?
You probably will.
That's what I'm
I'll just
saying.
say.
It's like, do I love it for 40 hours, get burned out, and then fucking just never beat it? And that worries me with
At least it's
Metaphor.
shorter than the Persona games by a
Sure,
little
sure,
bit.
yeah, and maybe that'll help a little bit. And then I don't know, maybe the whole political intrigue side will tickle my brain enough that I'll keep going
You
through
think
that whole time.
fantasy,
Yeah, I'm not a big fantasy guy, so that's a little bit
Yeah.
worrisome. But I don't know, maybe I do. I don't know if it's like Game of Thronesy intrigue, a little bit
Mm.
in there. Then maybe I get super into that and I could just power through fucking 80 hours of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I was saying, I wish Dragon Age had the demo though, just so I could feel that combat, get my
Yeah, I'm
hands on the controller
surprised there isn't anything,
for Dragon Age.
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
especially for like BioWare's next big game. I feel like maybe do something like that would like entice people maybe to try it and get the name out more. But
yeah. I know it's apparently doing well, but it's like
yeah,
I wish you guys would put out a demo. Let me play it a little.
yeah, back in the 360 days where like every game had a demo,
Mhm.
that was crazy.
We are getting up there, to be fair. Like
Yeah, there's a lot more now.
there are a lot more than there
There was
were
a period where you had none.
last gen. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's good, but yeah, still would like everything to just have a little bit of a demo. Even if it's short, it doesn't got to be Metaphor size.
The
Like I know
opening or
Metaphor is
something.
like 10 hours or whatever, but like yeah, no, give me an hour, that's fine. I don't care. Even 30 minutes, like at
Yeah,
least
just the
you
opening.
can experience it then, yeah, just a little bit.
Capcom loves their demos and betas and stuff.
They do, yeah. Yeah, they certainly do. Put out a ton. All right. Well, we'll
You
talk
have to
about
figure out what you got to want to play. There's a lot.
yeah, there sure is. All right. Well, Daniel, another busy week in the world of video games.
Been a weird week.
It's been an odd week. Odd week indeed. What are we going with to start with? Nintendo?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. First up, then Nintendo has confirmed their next console will be backwards compatible. Pretty sure that was already confirmed before, but they are now officially confirming it. That might have been rumors before, so I don't
I
know.
think it was rumors. Yeah.
Yeah, this is from Direct Nintendo, so we have official confirmation that the Switch 2, whatever we're calling it, going to be backwards compatible. They also confirmed that Nintendo Switch Online will carry over as well. And then we also got some updates on some first-party games we can talk about in a little bit. But Daniel, Nintendo confirming backwards compatibility. Good. I think it's expected, but very good.
Yeah. And I like that they're continuing the online. I think that's even more key. So they're not like gonna do something new again. Like I like that it is. Just keep that online service. It's a pretty great service. Like
Yeah, we don't get that
I don't know how
whole
much you've used
eShop
it.
situation again, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I love using that online service. It's really great. It's very flashy. It kind of sucks that it's all in like different apps. I kind of wish that it was like you just go in and then you pick from the one app, if
Yeah,
that
it could
makes
be a
sense.
bit cleaner. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
exactly what you
instead of
mean. Yeah.
having all these different icons. I mean, it is kind of cool like to see that, but I wish that was in one Switch Online thing.
Yeah.
Then you click in. Um, I think it
No,
could be a little
I can
cleaner.
always tell when I was just like, oh, I must have been kind of bored last time I was on my Switch because I just clicked through all of them. I must have just been
Look
looking at the
around.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they're
I
just
like when
all the
you
tiles on the
see a
home
new
screen.
one, like
Yeah,
flips
that's
it and
awesome.
stuff.
Oh, it makes the
Very
noise.
cool looking. Yeah.
The noise is awesome.
It being backwards compatible is also great. That means, like, I didn't read the statement. Is he saying that like digital will be backwards compatible, or we will be able to put the Switch cartridges in?
Unclear.
Unclear.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's that makes it sound like it's going to be mostly the digital stuff.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. I didn't even think of that. Will it still carry over physical games? I'd
Because like
imagine so.
maybe you can see all my Switch games are physical.
Because they're probably still just going to use cartridges. So,
You would think so,
yeah. Unless they're
but
like
maybe they're
different
different
sizes.
type.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different types or whatever. Yeah, and I can't get in there. I don't
they
know.
might need to be bigger cartridges because they're bigger games or something.
Yeah. I would bet you're still going to be able to throw your old Switch cartridges in
Two
there.
different ports, two different
Yeah,
like a
could do
like
that.
a like a Game Boy Advance or something,
Yeah.
or a DS. No, like a DS where you have the DS thing and then the Game Boy Advance cartridge
Yeah,
bit,
the
something
underneath
like that.
part. Yeah,
So here's the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 port. They're right next to each other.
yeah, that would work. I wonder if that would run up the price though. Maybe that's why they don't.
Yeah.
If they don't, but I would
I
bet.
guess you would
I
just
would
hope
bet
they're
they
the
do.
same size.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is probably a conversation they had years ago, right? So
Yeah, they're probably still having a lot of these conversations.
still don't know.
Whatever you
So,
gotta do.
I think it's a good thing. Hopefully, we get the same kind of thing that PlayStation, and especially Xbox, has done too, where the games also improve just by putting them in the next console a little
Oof,
bit.
you're asking for a lot
I know,
for
asking for a
Nintendo.
lot there with Nintendo,
I
but
think you're lucky that it is backwards compatible.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like they just improved just because they are running on better hardware, at least in some cases, right? So it's just,
Yeah,
I would hope maybe a little bit, right? It's like it'd be nice to have some of these running at 60 frames, some of the older Switch games, right? That'd be cool. Like if it could somehow magically get Tears of the Kingdom working at 60 frames, that'd be awesome. Maybe not.
I
Maybe I am hoping for
wish.
too much there, but
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
I really wish that would be the case, but I just don't see that. I just don't see them doing that.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like they're so
Now,
hesitant to
will they come
do
out with a Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom that runs at 60 frames? Is that more likely?
like a patch or like a
Like a
full
fucking
release.
like a full release. Yeah.
Oh, Connor, no,
I mean,
don't
what?
tell.
They did it this whole generation with the Wii U. Like
I'm
like
not buying these games again.
it's not out of the question here, you know.
I'm
It's
not
not
doing that
it's
again.
not I mean PlayStation is doing it. They just put out Horizon Zero Dawn
PlayStation's doing it.
remastered.
You're
Yeah,
right.
so it's like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility here at all that we get a Switch to Mario Odyssey whatever the fuck, you know?
I mean, we have realized we're living in the worst timeline. So,
Right.
like, they might they that's probably what they're gonna do. You know, I think you're I think you're just right.
My guess too, honestly, yeah. Uh
That's
and then yeah,
that
of course,
hurts.
online coming over. That's awesome as well. I love what they're slowly building, right? Like it's just slowly getting better and better with that online
It
package,
is.
right? Just because they keep
They
adding more
keep
games, and it's
adding
just
more.
the slow drip feed of game sucks, but over time, and it's just becoming more and more enticing to get Switch Online. So yeah,
Yeah, they just
it's
need to
awesome.
start
It's
getting the
coming over.
other stuff.
Yeah, if we could
Um,
get GameCube going, that'd be
more
fucking
more
awesome.
yeah, like GameCube, the DS, more Game Boy Advance stuff, Wii. I think getting all of that would be awesome. So many games.
Yeah, we
There's
would be
stuff.
really interesting actually.
Yeah, I mean they already like have what's the name of that Zelda game? I own it.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword. Yeah, they have Skyward Sword. They have
Yeah, there's a
Galaxy in that
couple. No More
collection.
Heroes is over there. Bayonetta's
No More
over there
Heroes.
now. I know
Yeah.
Bayonetta was that on Wii originally.
I don't think so. I think it was
No, that was
360 and
360 only.
PS3.
Okay.
Um,
Um.
yeah, I want Galaxy 2.
Yeah, God,
Like, I've never played Galaxy 2. I
they're
want to
gonna
play
charge you for
Galaxy
that
2.
one. That ain't coming to the online. I can
Yeah,
guarantee that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's to be a full port.
Yeah. I mean, what I really want is the other two Metroid Prime games.
Get
I,
that whole Wii. The Wii had the
yeah,
trilogy.
that trilogy thing. Yeah. Give me
That'd
a
be
way
really
to
cool.
give me a way to play those before 4, preferably.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Obviously, we want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
That's
that's
obvious.
gone. Yeah, I see. I feel like all the ones we're asking for here, they're gonna find a way to charge us
They're gonna
for though.
charge it. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think those are just gonna come in the online
I
thing.
think so.
Yeah, I know people want the older Pokemon games on there too. It's like
Old
maybe,
Pokemon. Yeah,
yeah, maybe I could see those getting in the online thing, but I could
a lot
also
of
see
3DS
them.
stuff.
I could also see them just like packaging the old Pokemon games together and then selling it again. I don't know.
Like do it by like console or something.
Yeah, something like
Have like
that.
the Game Boy ones, the DS ones, the 3DS ones,
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be shocked if it was like that.
there's like Mario, all the Mario games
Hmm.
that are on the each ones. There's the DS Mario games. There's the 3DS Mario games. Like, where's those?
Yeah.
The
There's
Zelda
still so
games
much to
too.
get to, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot to fill out both in the Nintendo Switch Online still. So what do we think is going on with Switch 2 here? Because I guess I already thought it would have been announced by now, but
the Switch
I
One was
know,
announced in October. Yeah,
yeah. So I know now. I think came out earlier this week. Analysts are saying don't expect the Switch 2 announcement before the end of the year. So I don't
January.
know. They're fucking analysts. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where my head's at. Is like it's gonna be the same amount of time frame that the Switch one had. However, it's just being punted a few months back because like I don't think we're getting it in March now. I think it would have been announced by now if we were getting this thing in March, right?
You would think,
You
but
would,
who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
yeah. I
We're in
mean,
such a
are
weird
they gonna do a
market.
January announcement and come out in March? That's a quick turnaround. It's not like they
But
couldn't, but
it's the Switch, though.
yeah, yeah, I get it. I mean, they
It's a few
could.
months
If I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna guess, yeah, January, February announcement, and it comes out May, June. That's
in the summertime.
yeah, that's gonna be my
Mm,
guess.
It's an interesting time to release it. Yeah, yeah. I guess you could. Yeah,
Like, are they really gonna push all the way back to fall? You know, that's a question too.
yeah. Like be right before Black Friday and all that. They could.
They could, yeah. I mean, and that's like the logical time, right, to do it is always release a console during fall, big holiday season. But I just don't know if we're gonna push all the way back to then, you know. And they had so much success releasing it at an odd time last time with the Switch, right? That why not do it again? I don't know. A summer console release sounds really fun to me, so maybe that's why I just want it to be
It does
coming out
sound
around
fun.
that
Yeah.
time. But
I guess it would depend on how many first party games they have
ready to
on
go
the
there.
Switch,
Yeah.
or even just on the Switch. To like, can they like
Mm.
pace more games out to release before the whatever this new one is?
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder if Prime 4 will come out before the Switch
Yeah,
2
that's what
does,
I'm
you
saying.
know?
Like,
Yeah.
we don't know, right?
Yeah. Like I could see that game be in March and the console coming out
Yeah,
in like May, June, like I said. That wouldn't surprise me too much. So
still
that
trying to keep the
Pokemon
Switch
game,
going.
right? It's like
Yeah, the Pokemon game.
yeah, I mean they could really do whatever they want here. It just seems like this thing, as long as it is what we all think it is and just being a Switch 2, it's kind of I don't really think this thing can fail when it comes out. So
Yeah, I gotta think like what 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 could they do to make it fail at this point? Like
it
bad
not
name?
be a Switch 2, yeah, bad name
Yeah.
for sure, but like also yeah, it not be, you know,
Oh, changing.
this, you know,
So you think
like
maybe if it was like only handheld or something, or
any I don't yeah, they do some weird thing with it, right? Like they do a Wii U thing, right? And just make like a weird, hey, here's this thing. It's just like
there's a
we're all like, what the
tablet?
right? Yeah, we're all like, what the fuck is this? You know, that's really the only way I see them fucking this thing up at this point.
Overpriced.
Overpriced, sure, yeah. But that's not a Nintendo thing, you know.
Yeah,
At
they
least not
don't.
on the console side, right?
Yeah, with the 3DS was pretty expensive when it first came out,
Sure.
and then
Like I
they
know
lowered that
they might
price.
overcharge for like accessories and all that, but like the console
They
itself,
definitely do.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. What
I
do you
mean,
if it is just a Switch 2, what do you think it'll be cost?
see, that's the question. I mean, do you think they're going to get it to 300? They're not going to have an OLED screen at launch. Maybe
Do
like
you think
the
300 is high?
no, not necessarily. I'm
Mm.
just don't like. I don't know. I think if they start pushing 400, it's going to start being really high priced for
Yeah,
the audience.
4 wouldn't shock me at all, honestly.
I mean, yeah, because I have these other consoles that are
Sure.
also 400 or 500, right? But think of the audience.
Yeah.
They don't have the handheld option anymore.
Hmm.
This is it. It's both. So you have to think of the kids and the more family friendly stuff. They're not. I don't know how much they're going to want to
What did
spend
Switch launch at?
300.
That was 3. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's as far as you could really push a Switch. I think unless you go like a Switch Pro,
Sure.
and for like the hardcore gamers, maybe you could, but you need to have those cheap options for the people that want a handheld
Uh,
for the kids or something like that.
350 maybe.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo will try to push it if they want. They don't want to lose money on their console. They do usually never do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's a good question.
I think the fact that not having an OLED screen really helps them.
Sure.
Like that's got to be expensive. It's what the one that you have. What was that? 350? It
Man,
was
I'm
more
I'm
than
horrible
300,
with
wasn't it?
prices. Yeah. I think
It's,
so. Yeah,
I think
350.
so.
We'll go with that.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's for like a better like screen. They're charging $50 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would guess 300
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, you're probably right on the money there. Come out of 300, then you do the different iterations again and
Maybe
just
do
do
the
it all
handheld
again.
one and then
Yeah.
the Pro or
Do a
something.
light
Yeah.
version, then do the pro again. Yeah. the with the OLED screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really think about price, but yeah, good points. Good points.
I mean, you have to. Like, the economy sucks everywhere. Like, things are expensive. People don't have the money. Yeah, you have to think about all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Now, did it also come out that they're trying to target more third parties to get on here? So I wonder if
Um,
they come out swinging with some big third party games as well.
yeah, maybe it depends on how powerful the thing will be.
And
They
I
might
think
need to,
I think a lot of people when they see that they're immediately thinking of older games. You know, like I see Elden Ring being thrown out and all that,
mm,
right? But I don't know. My mind kind of switches to newer games. Like, can we get newer games running
yeah.
on there? Like, I wonder if this will be the generation where Nintendo can finally compete and have the current Maddens, the current Call of Duties running on there, and actually have that be a viable place to play those things.
I think that that's going to be the case. To what level, I'm not
Because
sure.
Nintendo has never been in that conversation. Not really, you
They
know?
had the Call of Duties during like the Wii era.
Sure, but it was never like, "Oh, hey
Yeah.
guys, I'm gonna go play Call of Duty on my Wii," you know?
Yeah,
"See you
for
on the
sure.
fucking Nintendo Online," you know? It was no one was talking about that, you know? It's, I just wonder, can Nintendo ever get to that place where they're in that conversation?
Yeah, yeah, my head went to newer games as well. Older games is like always a thing that could be ported, especially with like newer hardware that's more powerful.
Right.
Um, like my head also went to like the old days where Nintendo used to work more with third parties and like letting them use their IP and stuff, like Capcom making Zelda games and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, like, I wonder if maybe they'll start actually just trying to work with these third party publishers more in general.
That'd
It's
be
like,
fun, right? I mean, the only thing they've done that with really in recent times is Ubisoft with the Mario and Rabbids games,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. Or Bandai, because Bandai's been helping with Smash.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, that's the only thing I could think of
Yeah.
is those two. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
having more of the Ubisoft thing, exactly. Do something like that with EA or Capcom
Yeah,
or
Capcom
whatever,
again.
Square.
Yeah.
Get Square to do an RPG with you or something, you know?
Yeah. And why
I
wouldn't you want that too if you're one of those at this point? Because these are just huge sellers, especially if they're good, right? It's like
Seems like these you put your game on Switch like that, and it just a million sells.
like you just said, like Square Enix comes out, makes a Zelda RPG, that's potentially 20 million copies, you know?
Yeah.
If this thing's a giant success like Switch One was, right? Like that's on the table, you know? And it's like that's not on the table for Square Enix with any of their franchises.
Yeah, or it's they partner with Square and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do a successor to Super Mario RPG."
Right.
Like, the sequel to this game that was so beloved, you know?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Do something like that, you know? That's kind of where my head goes to as well, but, yeah, having new games, Madden, yeah, sports games, things that, like, the gamers like, there's a huge audience for that. I just wonder, like, are you gonna get the Madden people and FIFA people playing on the Switch?
I
Or is
don't
that gonna be,
know.
like, a
It's
second option?
Yeah, it's like, you know, you buy the Switch for the kid, but it's like, oh, but this thing can also play Madden just as good, or, you know, maybe a little bit of a downgrade as my Xbox and PlayStation can. Maybe you're not buying an Xbox and PlayStation now, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
if you're one of those guys. But I don't know. It's I mean, they're certainly still gonna have to work on their online side. That's you got to
Yeah,
figure
for
that
sure.
out. I don't know if the party system Nintendo is still you got to pull up that fucking mobile app or whatever and do that.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
god.
if it is, you still you got to figure that out
No
immediately if you
way.
want to be in those conversations, right? If you want to have this
Mhm.
be a viable place to play like Battlefield and Call of Duty and all that, you're gonna need to figure that out, right? It's like, and they've been behind on that stuff for a long time, so I don't know if they come out and try to push that really hard and figure out the whole online ecosystem. That'd be nice. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of interesting things they could do. I really want this like direct or whatever. It's like I don't even need game announcements at it. I just want you guys to
Talk about
explain
this
what the
console.
console is. Yeah, explain how online works
What's
and
the
all that. I
name?
just want to hear about it. It's been a long time coming now. You know, we've been talking about the
The
next
underpowered
console
Switch
for
for
a
so
long
long.
time. Yeah, and the stinky Switch over here is it's
I
getting
didn't want to
old.
say it.
You're getting old, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a
We need
long
that new
time.
console.
We're coming up on 8 years here. All right, guys, like let's get going. All right. Well, yeah. Hopefully, we'll hear more about it soon. I see people throwing out Game Awards announcement. I don't think Nintendo would do that.
They've announced some games before,
Yeah, I don't see the
but
console. Maybe, I don't know,
yeah,
maybe a quick splash screen like Xbox did, but I don't really see
I just
Nintendo being down
they
with
want their
that.
own stage.
Exactly. It's yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, maybe you get a game like Prime 4 or something there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that that gets a date or something. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. Speaking of games, we'll probably see a Game Awards, sort of. The sequel at least. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyways, Death Stranding Director's Cut has been
Oh,
announced for Xbox Series X and X and is X and S and is also out right now on
yeah,
Xbox.
surprise.
And then also going along with this, PlayStation has given or sold, or I don't know exactly what's going on here. I only saw a quick headline. So
Yeah.
it sold the IP or given the IP back to Kojima. So
Mhm.
Kojima Productions now completely owns Death Stranding.
Yeah, that makes me curious if like okay, well, we'll talk about Death Stranding 1 first. It's awesome that it's coming to a new platform. It's been on PC for a few years now. Um, more people get to play this game, it's awesome. Uh, I think the most interesting thing is that he gets the IP back, and the story. And like, does that mean that there's a chance that there's a PC and Xbox release at launch for Death Stranding 2? We haven't seen that game in like 2 years now, right? Or was it last year that we saw it?
That might have even been this year.
The Troy Baker guitar thing?
The Troy Baker guitar thing was definitely this year. That was like beginning of this year ish.
Was it?
Yeah, where they announced Physant 2 or whatever, Physant, whatever the fuck we're calling it.
Yeah, no, that was like a new trailer, but I'm talking about that first like time we saw it.
Like when it first got revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
that
like 2
might have
years
been
ago?
like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they did the one with with Fizzant and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like is this game Fizzant is tied to like PlayStation. It seems like. We don't know because it's a new IP and stuff. But like now that he has the IP rights for this, is it going to have a PC and Xbox at launch, or is it going to be maybe trickled out again like Death Stranding 1?
I don't know. Very weird what's going on here. You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah, great. It's on Xbox now. It's been on PC for a little while now, like over a
And
year, I think.
Xbox Game Pass for
Yeah, I
PC.
was gonna say too. It was also on Game Pass already, so it's like, okay, guys, like you might as well just put it on Xbox too. What are we
Yeah.
doing here? If it's already on Game Pass on PC, so I don't know. I did see that 505 is publishing not that they're different versions, but the version on Xbox as well.
They
So
published a PC version.
yeah, they published the PC version, so it's it's not like I don't think the PlayStation splash screen pops up when you boot up Death Stranding on Xbox. If I had to guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, does it do we know if it does on PC?
I don't
Probably
know.
not,
Yeah,
right?
probably not. I'd imagine 505 does, not PlayStation. You know,
Mhm.
but I'm not entirely sure there. It might. I really don't know. So yeah, it is a very interesting thing. If you notice too, it's exactly 5 years after this game came out. So I wonder if there was just a deal in place
Oh,
there of
yeah.
like, hey, 5 years after the fact, we're coming out on different consoles. You know, I wonder if that, or 5 years after the rights of the IP go to me. I don't know. Maybe that's is something Kojima worked out. I don't know.
Maybe there's some, like, deal with Fizzant. He was just like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll make this new IP for you, but, like, I want the Death Stranding IP,"
yeah, yeah.
or
There's
something
also
like that.
that Death Stranding movie being made, and that doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with PlayStation. You know, that's not under
Yeah, it's not
Sony
a
Pictures. That's not under
yeah,
PlayStation Productions or whatever the fuck either. That's not one of those things. So that's going under A24, I believe. So
right.
I wonder if Kojima just really wanted to own it before that movie gets going, and he was like, I need to own this
I need
thing
my money.
because yeah, I need my money. Like I'm about to make the Stranding even bigger, so yeah, I want it, and
And crazier
yeah, and
from what we can
crazier.
tell.
Yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe it was tied into Phison a little bit. It's like, okay, hey, we'll throw you a bone here, give you this, but we want you to make something else for us. Make
Yeah.
Phison, make this whole espionage move universe or whatever the hell they're going for there. 'Cause I know that involves movies and TVs,
Yeah, he says, like, a
games, and all that.
multimedia,
Yeah,
transmedia product.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I wonder if PlayStation's more concerned about owning that than they are Death Stranding.
Mm,
I don't know. Who
yeah.
knows? But yeah, it's cool. Good thing that it's over on Xbox now. Yeah, I will be very interested to see maybe if next time we see Death Stranding 2, if we see a
Yeah.
Xbox or PC logo at the bottom of the screen at
I'm
the
gonna
end
be
of that
looking out
trailer
for
or
that
whatever.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on because maybe
Hmm.
maybe it does come there right away. I don't know. I'd imagine if I had to guess, PlayStation still has some type of
At least a window.
yeah exclusivity window on it still. If I had to guess, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I think we'll probably get another trailer at Game Awards. If I had to get if
I
I had to
think that's
bet.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, with how closely he is with closely
Kojima,
connected he is with Keeley.
his husband has a show.
Yeah. Yeah. Bay has a show, so gotta give him a trailer. And hopefully we get a release date there too. I want to throw that out around a possibility. I still think that game's like at least first half of next year if I had to bet.
Mm. Yeah, is it? Does it have a date?
No, I mean we just got a 2025 last time we saw it, so
It is 2025 though. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. I mean, Kojima's crazy enough to put his game wherever he wants. So
He is, yeah. He will go up against GTA 6.
yeah.
He is that ballsy. So I don't know. I guess he could, but yeah, I'm gonna bet that game's first half next year. I think it's closer than a lot of other people think it
Hmm.
is.
You think like springtime?
Yeah, I mean April wouldn't surprise me.
April.
Yeah, right around there.
Hmm.
All right. Well, Death Stranding. We'll be looking out for your next trailer. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Weird name. Is it 2
Don't
on the
like the on
beach
the
or
beach.
is it just
Yeah.
or is it Death Stranding on the beach?
I I mean, the logo had
Did they throw a
DS2.
2 in there? It had a 2?
No, the
Okay.
logo had Dark Souls 2 on it. So I
Dark
think
Souls 2, it did, yeah. No,
uh
no, Dan, no. Nintendo DS2.
oh, excuse
That's
me.
what he's making.
It had a 2. Like that was the shirt that he or the hat that he was wearing or the shirt or something. Yeah, it
I
was
do
the
remember
shirt.
that,
It
yeah.
had like a DS2, but then like it has a subtitle on the beach, which is stupid.
Huh, on the beach. Yeah. All right, next up then. BioWare isn't planning on releasing any Dragon Age the Veilguard DLC, as the whole team is now moving on to the next Mass Effect game. So they say. Daniel?
Yeah,
I feel like we're always talking about DLC getting announced, so feel like it's nice to talk about
yeah,
DLC not getting announced.
good. That's what I say. Good. Move
Yeah.
on to a new game.
Good. Let's carry on here.
We don't
Get
need
going.
DLC for every game that comes out. It doesn't have to happen. I know it kind of sucks for like fans of Dragon Age and Veilguard and stuff because like BioWare is known for their DLCs. They did do a lot, especially for Mass Effect, and I know each Dragon Age has had
Is Dragon
DLC.
Age big on DLC?
They've had them, yeah.
They've had
Each
them,
one
yeah.
had
Okay.
pretty expansive DLCs.
Yeah.
So I know people like BioWare DLC, but for me, I'm just like I'm tired of seeing games with DLC. Move on, like Mass Effect, whatever they call it, 4 or whatever. 5, whatever they want to call it. That's way more important than you doing a DLC for Dragon Age.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think time to move on here. It's already been too long, especially with Mass Effect. It's like you guys can't be dicking around with Dragon Age DLC right now. It's got to be all hands on deck on Mass Effect. Get that
Yeah.
thing out the door already, because you guys announced it so early into production that. I mean, when was that announced? 2021. I mean, it's already been
Something
like
like that.
3 years.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna be waiting at least another 2 if I had to bet. So, I don't know. It's yeah, it's a good
Yeah, I would
thing.
say 2026.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully they're targeting like fall 2026. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed there. So yeah, I'm totally with you. Good thing. Let's
Yeah.
move on here. I know
Move
Dragon Age
on.
is doing well. It's popular. So.
Mhm.
Good enough. Seems like they've made, critical reception was pretty good. Seems like they've
Yeah.
made a pretty good game here. So, all right, good. Move on. Get
And
to
if they
Mass
want to
Effect.
like think of like have every like that hamster spinning already, have that hamster spinning on the next Dragon Age. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like let that be it, not DLC.
Yeah. Totally with you. All right. Cool. Next up then, Hogwarts Legacy 2 has been reconfirmed. That is being made, and also WB says the team at Avalanche will be coordinating with the HBO team currently developing the Harry Potter TV series for quote big picture storytelling. Unquote. Daniel, don't know what that means. Don't know if they're like trying to like interconnect these things a little bit here, or
Yeah.
what exactly is going on. But nice to see Hogwarts Legacy 2 being reconfirmed again. Seems like Avalanche hard at work on that already. It's nice.
I guess they're just trying to make sure that they don't like mess with the canon, because like
Mm.
Hogwarts Legacy is like so further in the past, so I guess they don't want to like step on toes for this kind of stuff.
I wonder if
Um,
in that realm too, it's just like the team at Avalanche already did so much work in learning all the Harry Potter lore and all that, that if the
mhm.
HBO team's like, hey, let's borrow all that info and all that knowledge you guys already gained through making the first Hogwarts Legacy and be able to put that in our uh, TV show.
That's a great point. I didn't even actually think about it like that. I mean, you're right. Like that team and those writers and like world designers and stuff. Like, I mean, they might know that world like more than most people do, even fans. Like
No more than fucking J.K. Rowling at this point, you know?
yeah, you're probably right. Um, but yeah, it's like I think Warner would be stupid to not pursue more Hogwarts Legacy. Like the game was so successful, so
30 million
it makes
copies,
sense.
by the way. They
Yeah,
updated the number this week, so which is
that's
just
crazy.
fucking
I mean,
huge numbers.
that's like, I mean, it's got to be pushing for like one of the best selling games ever, right?
Yeah.
Up there,
Yeah,
like
I know when you get past like 22, 23 now,
yeah,
it's in the top 50 of all time. So yeah, 30's well in there.
yeah, for sure. So it's like that game did super well. I mean, I think that sequel's probably going to do even better, I would guess. Um, yeah, I'm very excited. Avalanche did a really good job for really their first like big AAA game. Like they did other smaller things, but nothing to this scale, and they nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I wonder if they try to connect this TV show and the game somehow, like
Mm.
maybe this is the past of the TV show world of Harry Potter, That'd be cool. I don't know. It's something interesting. I don't know if you really need to do that. You definitely don't need to do that, but
I mean, there's a
uh,
Weasley.
yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, I don't know, you can just lay fun little Easter eggs and groundwork there just in the games. It being so far in the past anyways, they don't have to like be super interconnected, right? You can just do some fun stuff there. And then just have like the layout look similar, right? Like that little town or whatever the fuck is right where it
Hogsmeade.
is in the game. Yeah, in the same place it would be in the fucking game, next to Hogwarts and all that. And I don't know, you could do cool little shit like that, I guess, if they wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious. I'm very curious about that new show on Max. Like they haven't really said much. I think the last they really talked about it was like they were doing like casting in
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I
in
think
your
they,
in
like,
the
just
UK.
started doing casting, yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm curious like what vibe are they going to go super young and
It's definitely HBO's next big thing, like,
for
their next
sure.
big push. They're putting a lot of fucking money into it, right? It's
Hmm.
like, I don't know, that could be very good for Harry Potter fans, that thing, right? I know there's a lot of stuff in the movies that was left out that was still in the books, right? So, you could
There's
get
only
all
so much you
that.
can do in a 2-hour movie,
Right, exactly, and it's like, okay, if you're doing 1 school year each season now for the TV show, there's a lot more you could fit in there now too, right?
In
So,
episodes. Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, I could see that definitely being a big deal, so, I don't know, we'll definitely
So
get
it's
more
going to
Harry
be
Potter in the
massive.
future.
You
Yeah.
see how big this game sold. That show's going to be massive.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So, yeah, good for them, we'll definitely be getting more Harry Potter in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah. I wonder how long they're going to take for Legacy 2. Like how much are they going to redo some of that open world that they did, Like you assume you assume like Hogwarts itself will probably mostly remain the same, but
Right.
change it a little bit.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
add a
obviously
few
the
more
tech is going
rooms
to
and
get
stuff like
better.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make it look more beautiful and all that, especially with a place like Hogwarts. It'd be very easy to make that castle bigger, Like, I know it's
Sure.
already huge, but it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, hey, you didn't go in this hallway in the last game, did you? And it's like, oh, here's
Hmm.
a whole other half the castle. So that type of stuff is very
Maybe expand the
very
other
doable,
towns
right?
more.
Yeah, yeah, make it a little bit bigger even. So
Means it's big and there's a lot to do, but all the other little towns, there's not nearly as much.
yeah.
So maybe just flush out that stuff more. I mean, obviously, new storyline and things like that. So I don't know. Like, you think like 5 years,
Yeah,
maybe
probably
less,
probably
more?
around there. The thing that impressed me most about the game was the attention to detail. And I know that stuff takes a long time, right? It's like they're gonna
Hmm.
need to do that again and up it for the sequel, right? So yeah, I know that stuff takes a little while. So when the last one come out, was it 22? That was last year, huh? 23.
It's 23. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I don't know, maybe you target 2028 and do you can get the whole cross gen thing going there too if we're assuming the next gen consoles come out
Yeah.
that year too, right? So which of course leads to even more copies sold. So, and maybe they even target that. I don't know. I could see 27 too. They are pretty quick with it. So, big team, and I gotta imagine
Yeah, I
it's
feel
all
like that
hands on
turnaround
deck
was
too.
pretty
There,
quick.
right? Yeah. There are those rumors too that they're doing a director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy, and Rocksteady's the one working on that. If you remember those, yeah, I don't know. It's
No, that
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a real
I
thing
don't want
too.
them doing that. Let Rocksteady do their own thing.
Oh, you're getting a
Isn't the
fucking
rumor
director's
now they're
cut.
working on a new Batman game?
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine if they are making the director's cut for Hogwarts Legacy, that's not the only thing they're working on. They probably are working on a major project as well, but
Isn't
I
that
don't
the
know.
rumor?
That they're making another Batman game. Yeah, there
Mhm.
was a rumor of that as well. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they're all doing. I wouldn't be surprised though if it's every WB team besides TT is working on fucking Hogwarts now. You know, just because that ended up
You
being so
don't
big.
no, don't put NetherRealm doing a Hogwarts, a Harry Potter fighting game,
Ooh, that sounds fun though.
like dueling with like more like
They're all just
a
standing
spell.
back. Isn't
Yeah,
there
a spell
dueling in
based.
Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, it's different, but
Now that Quidditch game failed, they gotta figure out how to get Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy
oh,
too.
that I
That's a
mean,
must.
we forgot about that.
Yeah,
Has to,
has to.
has to. They
Definitely
have
has
to
to.
figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, Hogwarts Legacy 2. Keep an eye out for you. Next up then, getting into some Take Two stuff. Take Two Interactive has made some moves after the company's recent earnings call. We got a lot of information on them, so buckle up. Firstly, subsidiary Private Division has been sold to an undisclosed buyer. This comes just a couple months after Take Two closed down two studios under Private Division. Those studios were, what were they? Roll 7 and what was the other one?
Yeah, Roll 7 was
Yeah,
the
Roll
Ollie
7's the
Ollie
Ali Ali
team.
guys. I can't remember the other one. Sorry, guys.
That was the one that stuck out for me. Yeah, I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, the other one. So they closed down too. So but we'll get back into that. And then secondly, they stated that GTA 6 is still targeting a fall 2025 release, and that Borderlands 4 and Mafia: The Old Country are aiming for next fiscal year, which would be March 2025 through April 2026. And now Judas, which was targeted for, I believe, this fiscal year. I remember they kept saying March 2025 before March 2025 that would
Mhm.
come out. That is now TBA on a release date. So
So I guess maybe at least
I
in
wonder what's going on here. Yeah, we
late
can
spring.
take this wherever you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's
We
my
can talk
main
about Judas
question.
real quick. Yeah.
What is going on with Judas? You know, it's I was kind of expecting a date for that game by now, if I'm being honest. Like
Yeah, we
uh,
got some
early
previews.
2025 ish. You know, yeah, we got
Was it
those
previews this
previews.
year or last year?
God, that might have been late last year. You
Late
know,
last year. That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, we got like some previews of that game, and like it was still very early what they were playing. So I don't, I don't know. Like Take Two is really not pushing that game out. I mean, they've been giving Ken like a long time to make that game.
He has a
Um,
long leash over
yeah,
there. So
they really like him a lot
yeah,
to give him that much money and that much time. Um, so I could see it, you know, maybe late spring, like Mayish.
he's a perfectionist too. So it's just like I wonder if he's just like, nope, not ready yet. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it next year. You know?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I could
Yeah,
see it at the earliest, like late springish, but like maybe just wait.
yeah,
You already
yeah.
have two huge games coming out next year, right? They have, or no, three. They have three big games coming out next year. One in February, which is Civ. Was it Civ 7?
Yeah.
Um, Borderlands, which I would assume is probably going to be in that May time.
Hmm.
Maybe even push it to like August. I feel like it's probably the latest you would want to push that. But Borderlands can come out really whenever. It's a huge franchise. And then the GTA. Like they have three massive games that are going to sell a lot um, next year. They don't need Judas. They don't want to bury Judas. It's going to be a busy year next year. Maybe just wait until like the beginning of 2026.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Selfishly, I want it. I want Judas.
Yeah, me too.
Like I really want that game to come out. I think that game looks fucking awesome. It sounds awesome. I can't wait to see what Ken's working on. But yeah, I mean, take his time. It's just at a certain point, he is just gonna have to put it out, though. You know, like if it is a
That's
perfectionist
true.
mindset, you really are like, all right, Ken, you gotta just put it out here, bud, because you can't be working on this for the next decade again. You know, it's We can't be sitting on this for too long. So yeah, selfishly, I want Judas as soon as possible. But yeah, I don't know. Take your time. There's no reason that you have to come out next year. And I know it's a small team anyway, so I don't think Take-Two really thinks about it as like, oh, this thing's got to come out because we're paying all these workers to make this game, right? So, and then yeah, Borderlands 4, Mafia, GTA, all expected. GTA definitely coming out.
I forgot Mafia. Is Mafia supposed to be next year?
It's next fiscal year. That's what they're aiming for here.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that one is the one that gets pushed to early 2026. You know, especially because like you definitely don't want to. I mean, they already talked about they don't want to release Borderlands and GTA on top of each other. So you definitely
Mafia's
don't want
even worse.
exactly. You don't want Mafia in the middle of that, especially with Mafia being in the same realm as GTA 6. Right? It's like I know different time period now, so they're not necessarily the same thing, but they are kind of the same audience. So. Yeah, you really don't want to put Mafia out anywhere there. I could see Mafia being early 2026 game. That wouldn't surprise me.
I think that's good for that game.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for it too. And yeah, I think you were right on the money with Borderlands 4. I think that'll be May, June, July, summerish. That'll be a fun summer game. Get that out before the big GTA 6 marketing push for sure. I mean, they've even acknowledged that themselves that they don't want to do that. So, you know, if GTA is September, October, yeah, you gotta have that come out May, June, right? October. Yeah, right around there. So, yeah, that all sounds good to me. I mean, they are set up for a big year next year.
Take-Two's gonna have a big year next year
for sure. Now, the private division stuff really interests me.
Yeah,
I guess it was obvious that they didn't really want anything to do with this division anymore after they dropped Roll 7 earlier this year, and the other studio that we can't remember the name of. And I can't even really think of who else is under private division. I know they just publish a lot of great indie titles, but
yeah, they've become a big publisher of like I always liked private division, the arm of them, because it's like seeing Take-Two do something like this is really cool. You don't really get a lot of like big publishers doing this. EA does it with like their, what was the name of their line? They kind of slowed a little bit doing them. Originals, the originals,
EA originals. Yeah, there you go.
So like EA's does a little bit too, but you don't really see this too much. It's kind of sad that they're getting sold off, but like hopefully it's going to somebody, worth it, and it'll take care of that private division name. I hope it's not like Embracer Group or Tencent.
Yeah, I don't know. It could also just be someone very random that we don't even know about. Like I always think of that random ass company that bought Supermassive now. Or they're like a German production studio or whatever, and they're not even involved in it. What if it's just something like that, which is something really random that you would never think of, right? It's it could be something like that as well.
Who was the homeless man on your corner next to Starbucks? Maybe it was him.
Yeah, maybe it was that guy. That guy screaming about aliens. We'll buy him. Why not? Yeah, I'll go in with him on that. Why not?
Yeah, I'll go. Let me get a little bit.
Make some money. Fuck it. But yeah, it just seems like Take-Two's trimming the fat here. They don't really.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't.
Gearing up for GTA to make as much money as
right. I think they probably weren't making a lot of money off private division anyways, and whatever games they were putting out. So I think they're just trimmed the fat here. It is super unfortunate though that they had to close down the 2 studios earlier this year. It's like maybe they had to do that to sell it off to this undisclosed buyer. Maybe the undisclosed buyer didn't want, just to cut the price down a little bit.
That's a fair thing to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, and so unfortunately, it just seems like Roll 7 was caught in the crosshairs there, which sucks, man, because they made really good games. The Ali Hollywood games were very good. So
they were the publisher of The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, wild.
They're
no, Worlds. You're right. Didn't they publish The Outer Wilds as well? Wasn't that private division?
Wasn't that not Annapurna?
Oh, you might be right. Okay.
I think it's Annapurna. They did do Alien Isolation. That was like one of the first private division things I remember seeing.
Okay.
Is Alien Isolation. But yeah, roll. Man, I love Ollie World.
Yeah,
that game is so awesome. It looks great. They also did the game that you liked a lot. It was in the same year.
Oh yeah. Roller Drome.
Yeah,
Roller Drome.
Cool
yeah, that was fucking awesome too. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks too. Right on the year after Roll 7 puts out their 2 best products, right? And it's like you guys close them down. What the fuck, And I know Ali World is received as the best Ali game, and the other 2 before that are very good as well. But Ali World was great. Yeah, I get that, but it's just I don't know.
Like, what are you expecting these games to do?
On one hand, they make Judas and let Ken Levine do whatever the fuck he wants with that, which is that game is it gonna make a ton
unlimited
of money?
time and money.
Right, and it's just like that game's not gonna make you shit, you know. So that's a game being made for art's sake, really, you know. And then on the other hand, they closed down an incredible indie studio just because they'd probably make more money selling off Private Division without them.
It's wild.
Yeah, it
It
just
is a
sucks,
wild
man.
thing.
Sucks, man. World of business, dude. Gets involved in this shit.
I
Just
guess that's
horrible,
the fine line of art and business, right?
right?
Like games are that. It's the biggest entertainment medium, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like that business is going to be right there alongside the art, and it's just we're seeing it this year really badly.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
I mean, I guess without leaving on a bad note, I'm very excited for Borderlands 4 and GTA 6 next year. It's
Yeah.
probably like two of my most anticipated next
They
year.
updated sales numbers as well. GTA 5 is now 205 million copies.
Jesus Christ.
I think Red Dead 2 is at 67 million.
Unreal.
I mean, also
even
just
that
puts
game, it's like
yeah, that's crazy to me that Red Dead 2 got out there. I think they did the whole series. I think I saw they announced the whole series. I think it was like Red Dead 1's at 25 million and Red Dead 2's
wow,
at
even that's still
67.
a lot.
Yeah, that's still a lot, but yeah, man, Red Dead 2, I never would have guessed it would have sold that high before it came out.
Game's massive, and it's like that's such a like an American thing,
Yeah.
like
Now, I
the
wonder how
American
they view
frontier.
that because it's still only like a third of what GTA 5 stole. You know, it's probably in like what top 25, top 20 of best selling games of all time, Red Dead 2. And it's still only like a third of what GTA 5 sold. That's
Yeah.
wild. You know, not even a third.
Like, how
Yeah.
much is GTA 6 gonna sell? And
Man,
like, how fast?
I don't know. I don't know if GTA 6 gets up to this number. You know, this is
Yeah,
a
that's the
wild
question,
number.
right?
Yeah, like does GTA 6 get up there? I don't know. It's like do they keep GTA 6 on the marketplace for a decade without putting out another one too? That's also a good question. It's I don't know. It's
Yeah.
gonna be very fascinating to see. Like I think GTA 6 will have bigger launch numbers than GTA 5, but I think the wind down won't be as big. If I had to guess, but I don't know. A lot of that's gonna depend on how good GTA Online is.
And it's gonna be more than Red Dead 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I don't see a world where it doesn't get up to the 100 million mark.
I was gonna say about 100 mil.
Yeah, yeah, which is still just insane to think about. Like,
What? What? Where like games are like we sold 1 million copies, and
Right.
GTA 6 is like we're gonna do 100 million copies.
No, Concord sold 25,000.
Yeah. GTA 6
Uh,
GTA 6 will do that in like a minute.
Right.
Less than that.
less. GTA 6 has already sold 25,000
Yeah.
copies. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where GTA 6 is gonna end up landing. I
Or
would
even
bet.
Borderlands 4. Like what like 3 did really, really well. That
Yeah,
game
I
sold
remember
a
3
lot.
getting up to 10 million pretty quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Borderlands 4 is
Is
gonna end up
Borderlands 4
doing.
gonna be in the top 10 next year?
Oh yeah, I would assume. Yeah. With
You think so?
I mean, gonna be a competitive year, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
for sure.
You know, they got that. Monster Hunter Wilds is gonna be up there as well.
That was gonna be I think the dark horse for next year.
Yeah,
In
100%.
sales.
I don't even know if it's a dark horse. Like that's just
You don't
gonna
think
be.
so?
Yeah, that's a big game now, especially. It's like World was a dark horse, right? But now
That's true.
Wilds
That's
is like we know that game's gonna sell big numbers. I mean, Assassin's Creed gonna be up there. Then of course
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
your sports games and stuff like that are also gonna come out. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know if Borderlands 4 would do as well as 3. I don't.
That's an interesting.
It doesn't from the
Yeah.
outside looking in. It doesn't seem like fan reception of 3 was as high as they would have liked it to be.
It
So
played well. It was the story that I think people were a little.
yeah,
I think the story was fine. I think they made some weird choices, but I think overall as a package, 3 was great. It's a great package.
I don't know if with all of that, if it ends up hurting Borderlands 4 sales a little bit.
Or even
But
Tiny Tina's, yeah. Did that hurt or make it better?
yeah, I don't know. Tiny Tina. I mean, that game sold well, right? But it wasn't like
I think so.
Borderlands numbers.
Yeah, didn't have the name for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see. Like we were saying, certainly a massive year next year for Take-Two.
And just all games, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's a lot coming out. I mean, especially with this Switch successor coming out next year.
Yes,
You know, it's just
we don't know when Nintendo's really got planned.
gonna be a
Yeah.
wild year. You know,
Yeah.
all the Xbox games as well. There's a ton next year.
A new Like a Dragon game coming out.
Yeah, that as well.
All the Xbox stuff, Doom,
Yeah, Doom, Fable,
Fable,
Avowed. You know,
Vowed.
maybe Gears. Although I'm starting to think Gears isn't next year, but
I think Gears is gonna be 2026.
yeah, yeah, especially at this point with Avowed getting pushed back. I think they're kind of up for that. They have it teed up now, Xbox, to where they can do the one big game
Gears is a
quarter.
fall game.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
not going to
So
come out next fall. So
yeah,
I would
push
I
it
would
all
say
the way back.
2026.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, looking forward to next year for sure.
Man,
That's gonna do it for the news of the week. We now move on. What we've been playing, Daniel? Anything?
nope.
Nothing.
I'm sorry. Didn't get a chance to play anything this week.
Fuck these games. I hear you.
I want to, but man, just haven't been.
All right. What have I done then? I have played
I know you've
and
been gaming a lot.
yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I played it and beaten Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
We got
Can't wait to hear this one.
Mixed bag with this one. Mixed bag.
Okay.
A lot I like. A lot I like. Like it's still at its core a good Life is Strange game. I would call
Okay,
it.
good.
You know, but it is. It ended up being my least favorite Life is Strange game by the end of it. I would say.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it just. Let's start with the positives first.
Sure.
The characters are great. Max, I like Max way more, and I like Max in the first game. I never liked Max in the first
older,
Life is
yeah.
Strange game. Yeah, I never really connected with her. I never really liked her personality in the first game. It was always Chloe took over the show for me in the first Life
For
is Strange
sure. I mean,
game.
Chloe
You
was
know?
the standout.
Right, yeah, and now I kind of feel like Max gets to shine a lot more here without Chloe being in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up liking her character a lot more in this game than I did with that. And it just this game has great side characters that they introduce. The new characters in this game are fucking awesome. And the setup just in general for this game, I mean, if you've seen the trailers, you already know it's like sort of a murder mystery thing. Max is this like I don't know what she is. She's like a teacher slash not a teacher at this college. I don't know. She got invited through like an art program to do some seminars at this college. So she's not like really a teacher, but she lives on campus. So she kind of almost feels like more of a student at the college than she does as like a teacher. But I guess she is like doing seminars and stuff, and you don't really see a ton of that. It's not like you're ever like teaching a class or anything. So I kind of wish they would have delved more into that. I was confused the whole time. Like, what is Max doing here? You know?
Why is she at this college?
Yeah, I'm like, why is she here? I don't really understand. But yeah, it doesn't end up really mattering. And then yeah, it ends up being this whole murder mystery thing. Like I said, if you've seen the trailers, and then so Max hasn't been using her rewind powers, which were in the first Life is Strange game. She hasn't used those in years at this point. By the time you catch up to her, I think this is like 10 years after the first Life is Strange game, right around there. I think she's like 28 in this. I don't think they ever specifically say her age, but yeah, I'm gonna guess it's like 10 years after that. And it sounds like Max hasn't used her powers that whole time, ever since the Arcadia Bay stuff went down. I kind of like it's like she learned a lot of lessons from that, and she was like, you know what, we're not gonna rewind time anymore because that is just fucking wild.
We're not gonna destroy another town.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would have done, go to a fucking doctor because there's something going on here. Like, why do you have these? You know, you never asked yourself that, Max. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, then one of Max's close friends on the campus gets murdered. You kind of find the body and stuff, and Max tries to use her powers again, and she ends up going into an alternate universe where her friend didn't get murdered, and then the whole crux of the game kind of revolves around that, right? You can now hop between these two universes, one where she's living, one where she's dead, and it's sort of a murder mystery for a good portion of the game, of you trying to figure out who and why murdered your friend. And
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
How does that work?
So
is it like a time, like you're doing it?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
is it
So
like
you will
stored?
press a button, but it's only in like certain locations. But these locations are like everywhere. You have to go stand in a certain spot, and it's like really weird where she stands. But like you'll like see this like glowing shit, and you'll know you can go stand there to transport into the alternate universe. And they use that in fun ways, but I found the ways that they use that to kind of wear off on me and being cool pretty quickly. By like midpoint episode 3, I was kind of like, okay, you guys have kind of shown me everything you're gonna do with this whole alternate timeline thing. Like, it's a lot of like, oh, I need this object to like, I need like this key to open this door so I can get in there and read these notes. But the keys, the keys in the other universe, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, go over to the other universe, or like, I need this character to tell me this information, but they're not telling me in this universe for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go ask the other universe, and she might have like a different sort of relationship with the other universe one. And like
Mhm.
all that sounds cool, and it is cool. But like I said, it kind of wore off on me pretty quickly. Where I was just like, okay, I get it. You know, it's like I don't need to go find this fucking key over here. It's like
Yeah.
you guys could just give me the goddamn key. You know, and I don't know. They do play with it in fun ways. It just wasn't. It wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be. You know, like
Right.
the concept sounds way cooler than it actually is.
Yeah.
And you know, that's sort of unfortunate. But you know, all your great Life is Strange moments are still here. You know, the whole like reflect and a song plays moments. Those are all here. I love all those. Great characters, all that. The writing's pretty good. But then where this game really ends up failing is at the end.
Mm.
The last episode ish feels super rushed, and characters' motivations just they like somewhat make sense, but they just kind of fall apart at the very end, where it's like
I'm
I
so
don't.
curious without like
Yeah, it's
spoiling
really
away.
hard to talk about this game without spoiling it because it is just a complete narrative game, you know. So it does just entirely rely on its story. So yeah, I'm definitely trying not to spoil anything for you, but yeah, I just found that like I was just left confused and scratching my head by the time credits were rolling. I was just like, why did this person do that? And it's like I somewhat understand why they do that, but that doesn't really seem like it would fit this character's motivations throughout the entire game. And yeah, it's just a shame what happened there. It feels like they had the idea for the sequel to this game and they wanted to rush to get to that point, and they were trying to set up the sequel to this game more than they were so trying to finish the story of what this game should have been.
Oh, so it's like a big like this is what we're gonna do next at the end of the
Exactly.
game.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a big, like, oh, hey, we're setting up for something big here in the next game. And it's just like, oh, okay, you guys were just really trying to do that. You didn't really care about finishing this game's story, you know?
That's so weird because True Colors is so good.
All of them, right? And it's like all of them are such great standalone stories, and this one is not. And it's just like you guys are thinking too far ahead here with this. You guys really should have just concentrated on making this a great standalone story instead of trying to set up the next game, you know? Because yeah, like I said, it just makes certain characters' motivations feel weird and out of place throughout the whole thing now, you know,
Hmm.
and it kind of ruins everything good that came before it, what comes in like the last chapter. And it's a shame that that happened because it is cool. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff here. But yeah, it's just with them rushing it and fucking up different characters, it kind of just falls apart.
Does it like taint what you like you wanting to play the next game?
Um I'm in for the ride here, you know. Like I'm invested
Yeah.
in Life is Strange, you know. Like I played all of them. I love all of them. It's just so like I will play the next one no matter what, but it makes me less excited, you know. Like when I
Oof.
see the trailer for the next one, I'm not gonna be like, oh, here we go, can't fucking wait, you know.
Like
I'm
we
gonna
saw with this one.
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, all right, let's see if they can
That's brutal.
fix this and land this plane here a little bit because it's just you guys have set up a complete mess here. You really have, you know. And I don't know, man. I don't know where. I like I know exactly where Life is Strange can go from here. I know exactly the story they're trying to set up here, but it's just it's a fucking mess, and it's not gonna make a ton of sense with what happens in this game, you know.
Interesting. I need to play this game now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely play it. I'd be curious to talk about it with like with spoilers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I would definitely be curious to pick your brain about it because yeah, it's an interesting one. You know, I do like a lot. If you're a Life is Strange fan, like I do think you should play through it. You
Okay.
know, it's not like not worth a playthrough, but you will be baffled by the end. You will just kind of be like, what? Like that's what we're doing? Okay, all right. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of cool elements there. A lot of one thing I noticed that was really weird is like this game only takes place in like 4 or 5 different spots throughout the whole thing. You know, like it's like the four or five same areas the entire game, and which is fine, but it's also just like I don't know, it felt kind of weird. Like I just noticed every time I was like, oh, we're never going anywhere else in this game, huh? It is just kind of on the school campus the whole time. Uh, I mean, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Like I said, though, great side characters. Like they really nailed those. There's some really fun characters in there, really fun interactions. There's and even regardless of the ending, there are a couple of just like loose plot threads as well that just like
They
weren't
don't wrap up.
answered. Yeah, they don't wrap up and they don't burn up again. And I'm like, I don't even know if they were setting those up for the sequel because it's like they didn't even. There's one thing in particular that happens like the end of like episode 3 I want to say that they just never talk about again, and it's like a big deal. And I'm just like,
What?
okay, we're never talking about that again. All right. And I'm like, all right, whatever. That's weird. And there's like, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a mess, man. I don't know. I don't know what happened here. You know, it's like they had such a good thing going with True Colors that I just maybe they
Yeah.
shouldn't have gone back to Max. You know, like they
That you wouldn't think that that would be that big of a deal.
yeah, I know, but it's just I don't know. After you play it, I think you'll come to the same conclusion that like you guys probably should have just done another standalone theme with a new character and
Yeah.
a new power and stuff like that. I guess this is a new power, but it's I don't know. It just feels so weird after playing it that I'm just yeah, I don't. The ending really does taint the whole experience. And the
Hmm.
more I think about it, but some cool stuff there. Looks beautiful, man. The art style's awesome in this game. I love the direction they went with the art style. The face animations are crazy too. I don't know what sort of technology are they in Unreal 5 now? They must be.
It
Because
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, it looks great. It really does. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's I'm very curious to see where they go from here. I'm curious to see if they even get another shot. It's I know the fan base is not happy. I was looking on the subreddit. No one is happy with this. I know a lot of people are upset with how they handled the Max and Chloe relationship, and I'm kind of fine. If Chloe's alive for you, you find this out right away, so it's not a big spoiler. But if Chloe's alive for you, you kind of you know if you get a point where you can choose what you picked at the end of Life is Strange 1. Early on in episode 1, you get this choice. And if Chloe's alive for you, it's just kind of like Max and Chloe had broken up, and they kind of grew apart, and they kind of both went their separate ways and do that. And I know a lot of people are upset by that. It's like I was actually fine with that. That's cool with me. It's, I think a lot of people just kind of want like the happy fairy tale ending for both of them, and you know I can understand that as well. But it's like I don't know. That's
I mean, maybe a future
yeah,
game.
maybe
Who
they
knows?
get it in a future game or whatever. And it's also just like that's not really how life goes, you know. It's just like
Yeah,
you
but
know.
it's a game.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know. But it's like they were two 18-year-olds, you know, at the end of Life is Strange 1, or they may not even
I
been
feel like
18.
they're gonna bring everything back around at some point with everything. So
I'm
I
sure they
I,
will. They could. That's an easy fix too. I just see a lot of people hung up on that, and it's like, okay, that's not the problem with this game. That's definitely not the
I gotta
problem.
go open the door real quick. You can keep going.
Yeah, go for it. What else have I been playing then? So yeah, that was Life is Strange. Been enjoying that. I've also been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. A ton of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. My first time actually putting any real time into Call of Duty since let's say the World War II one, which I think was way back in 2017. And the only reason I'm really playing it is because it's on Game Pass. So shout out to Game Pass getting Call of Duty in there. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of the multiplayer game and a lot of zombies as well. Talking about Call of Duty now. I've been playing quite a bit of Daniel.
Yeah, playing called. What do you play in the campaign?
No, I haven't even touched the campaign. I'm playing the multiplayer mostly, and
Oh,
yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the multiplayer. Actually, shout out to Game Pass for putting that on there because I don't know what happened, but I am suddenly pretty good at Call of Duty. And I growing up, I was awful at Call of Duty. I don't know what the fuck happened
usually it's
there.
the other way around, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get,
Usually
older,
they
your
you
reaction is slow.
degrade with age there, but
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was my Titanfall skills carried over. That's a possibility. I was like decent at Titanfall.
I mean, that was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah, that was a while ago. I really don't know what happened, but like I won like 3 free for all matches the other day, and I was like,
Free for
oh
all.
yeah, I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? I have no
And
idea
the
what's
Halo
going on.
skills, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't see that never carried over though. Like I was always somewhat, and when I say good at these things, I'm not. I don't mean I'm like good on like a competitive level. I just mean I'm good in the point where I can like win matches. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I was always like somewhat good at Halo, but Call of Duty I've always been terrible at. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm having a lot of fun with Call of Duty. I like zombies a lot too. Zombies is actually really good. Haven't touched the campaign yet, but I have thought about it. But I feel like I would have to go back and play the other Black Ops first. I think I played Black Ops 1 like way back in the day, but
Yeah, that was 2010.
yeah, I don't remember anything about it. So I don't know. Maybe I do that at some point. I've heard the campaign's actually very good though, so
I mean, that's what
I would
I'm
like to check it
super
out.
excited for. I have like a friend that wants to play Black Ops 6 with me. Um, I like didn't have the money when it launched, so I couldn't get it right away. But I'm definitely gonna try to get and play the multiplayer with him. But I'm very curious about the campaign because I liked the last Black Ops campaign, Cold War. That was a very fun campaign, super unique missions and stuff. So I'm very, very curious about 6. I've heard really good things about the campaign. So
Yeah, shout out to Raven. They apparently developed it. So
they did, yeah, they did Cold War too.
they okay.
Yeah.
Now maybe I will play through the campaign. I don't know. Yeah, so still trying to figure out what I want to play next. I'm leaning towards Metaphor, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how to help you there. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
don't know. I don't know what to do either.
I
It's a
feel like
problem.
Metaphor that's going to be the same thing as Persona,
Yeah, yeah, that's my worry too. I get burned out right in the
unless you're
middle of it.
really going to get committed
Yeah,
to beating it.
yeah, I would just have to really buckle down. The problem is then like, I guess we are still like a month out from indie. That's what would worry me is indie comes out and I get super into that and then try to hop back into Metaphor.
Hmm.
That would be because I don't do well with that. You know, I don't do well with the whole take 2 weeks off the RPG and then coming back. I tend to lose interest with that. So I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll wait till after indie start something big like that.
Yeah. I mean, unless you really just put your nose down and like
Get to
grinding it
it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'll figure it out by the time we do a show next week. Yeah. I guess that's gonna do it then for the show. We what episode number was this?
48.
248. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdgods. You can also find us available on all audio podcasts. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
I'm gonna try to play some Metaphor this week. Hopefully,
Play some
this coming week.
games, Daniel. Like
Yeah.
COD.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be COD. I definitely want to try to play some Metaphor as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
So, if you play in the multiplayer, feel free. Send me an invite. I'll play with you.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Because it doesn't even matter what platform you get it. So I think my friend he's been playing on PlayStation. So
Okay. I think
um,
Sims is playing it too. Maybe we could all jump in there and
uh-oh,
play some COD. That'd be fun.
uh-oh.
Some COD with the boys. That'd
Trying
be
to bring
fun.
me back.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get Daniel in. I want fucking full Mountain Dude up Daniel.
You
That's
don't
what I
want
want.
old me. You don't
Uh,
want
I
bring
want
the old me back.
I want that
You don't
guy.
want
I want
that.
that guy. Same racial slurs over the
Oh
internet.
my
That guy
god.
sounds awesome.
That was not me.
I don't believe you.
I meant my old multiplayer days.
Daniel just shoving Doritos and Mountain Dew
Shotgunning
down his
Mountain Dew.
throat, saying racial slurs. I love it. All right, I'll see you next week, everyone. Bye bye.
Hi everybody.